I'm very glad for what you've written because I've made this comparison before. The idea that in a different way, we are fighting, possibly existentially, for our democracy in America, but we don't have another country sending missiles to us. We don't have our electrical grid being taken out. We don't have tanks in the streets. But what they are doing is what we once did. They are on the front lines of the collapse of democracy, which is a problem around the world, and they are fighting to stand up for it, and we should be there with them.
Boy, Ali, I was so moved by the folks I saw there. There was a soldier who had lost his entire left arm at the shoulder in fighting. He was now getting a prosthesis, and then he's going back to the front to fight again. And I just, standing next to him, I just felt very inadequate next to that warrior. Or a 26-year-old woman who lost her fiance also in May on the front line. He had just proposed to her from the front. He offered her a ring jokingly from a grenade. And when he was killed, this 26-year-old woman, she signed up and enlisted, and she went near the front, and I met her there on this icy day, and I said, what are you doing here? And she said, they killed the man I love. Where else can I be? And boy, and we can learn a lot from those brave Ukrainians. We really can, Ali.
And when I was there, I was asking a number of young Ukrainians about the people who had been killed, and we had unearthed some of the atrocities outside of Kyiv, and they said, we will mourn correctly one day, but right now the time is to fight. And it's kind of interesting, but history will tell you that the more you do to Ukrainians, the more suffering you impose upon them, the stronger they will stand. And that is what they continue to do. We are approaching, in February, we will be a year into this war, and their resolve, ours might be weakening in the West. Theirs isn't.
Yeah, I mean, look, Putin doesn't have a war strategy. He has a war crime strategy. He's trying to destroy the grid, to weaponize winter against Ukrainians. And it's not going to work against Ukrainians. Now, will it work against Germans or people in France or against Americans who get tired of high energy prices? I hope not. But I think there's more danger that Americans and Europeans will lose that will to resist than that Ukrainians will.
What do we do about this business that McCarthy is saying, and he's echoing a few fringy people in the Republican Party? Remember, when the Republican Party used to be about Russia being the #1 adversary to the United States? It would be going against the grain. While support for the war in Ukraine has waned in the last year, which is typically what happens when things go on for a while, it's nowhere close to what McCarthy and some Republicans are suggesting will happen. Is there any likelihood that we are going to pull back on our financial and military support to Ukraine?
I don't think so, but I think that there can be more pressure on Ukraine, more second guessing, more doubt about what kind of armaments we supply to Ukraine or what economic aid we supply to Ukraine. And, at the end of the day, the way this is going to end is going to be when Putin gets tired of this war. If Russia stops fighting, there's no more war. If Ukraine stops fighting, there's no more Ukraine. And I hope that message will get through to the Republicans. I'd also, Ali, just say that the Republicans have been very, very tough on China and about the importance of supporting Taiwan. If you want to reduce the risk of a conflagration over Taiwan, then one way of doing that is to make sure that Putin is humiliated in Ukraine. And that sent a message to Xi Jinping.
China's watching this situation very, very closely. Every single morning, Chinese gunships and airships fly close to or across the line on the Taiwanese Straits. It's just a test. It's just to see what the resolve is. But they're watching very closely. If America gives up on Ukraine, Taiwan could be the next thing to go.